Call the meeting to order, determine there is a quorum present. We have Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Garcia, and Commissioner Flores. We do have a quorum. Folks, if y'all will please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Commissioner Vasquez, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank y'all. We'll go to item 5, approving the motion. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. There was a couple people filling out citizens' comments in the back. Where are they? Okay, back in the corner. Do you have a paper now? Okay. When you get it, just walk it up. All right. We okay?
Judge, I did hand out to your right that your pen is sitting on. That is a packet of information provided by the landowners that they wanted the commissioners to be aware of. Just so you know.
All right. Well, we have, and I will get y'all copies of it. We have a couple of things that have been turned in by citizens. A couple of packets. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and get started with citizens' comments. Mr. Bollinger, do you want to speak? You're up. Okay. Run on through real quick. No, it's all good. It's fine to speak.
Good morning. My name is Roger Bollinger. I own Bollinger Drilling Company. I have for 43 years. Down here to address the speed bump deal on Bayview Drive. I was told yesterday I was going to get a letter, and I got it a few minutes ago. It's unacceptable. They're going to move the guardrail, but not the sign. So, I mean, I guess I'll just live with it until I get this took care of. But me and Tino Martinez put the deal together to get the people to slow down on this road. They run 40, 45 miles an hour up and down it. There's no way the constable, Joe Frank, can stop it. You can't be there all the time. I filed a petition, asked Fernando to do it. He was all out on it, no deal. So we filed a petition, got all the names, and I think 1 or 2 got them put in. And didn't know there's going to be guardrails put in where there's brush 5, 6 feet on the other side of the speed bump. And I don't have a problem with the guardrail on the other side of my house, which is, I feel like in a stupid spot. But it's been my understanding, 3 people's come to me that says Fernando wants me to have to cross the speed bump. I don't have a problem with it. You'll put 5 more of them between there and the road. Get her done. I love it down here in Val Verde County. I've been coming here since 80. I moved back down here in 07. My concern is the safety for my wife, my grandchildren, and my dog. When they come out of my driveway, all are welcome to go have a look at it. Come out of my driveway, you can only see for a little ways when you back out of the wall that's on my property. And I put some speed bumps down, took it up on my own, put some down, they work. I get a call on Monday that I got to take them down. Tito was good enough, I wasn't there, he took them down. Then we go through this to get it all done. And, excuse me for my notes here. I don't have a good note. I'd never met Fernando before. He was asked to come out. He said he'd come out to see me. I didn't see him. He did see Tito. And he did come out with Carlos. Now, I want to apologize to Carlos because Fernando told me that he engineered the whole deal. And we stood there on the road, and Carlos said, I did not engineer this. I marked the spots where he told me to put the spots. So I want to apologize to him. I want to thank the judge for trying to work this out the best he can. I had no idea, being from Missouri originally, that he wasn't the man. I figured out he was not the man. You're elected official, so what my plans are, I don't think if anybody wanted to come out and look at it, that taking the guardrail down doesn't help me turn a tractor trailer around. I happen to know Festus, Juan, Lewis, you all move equipment. I'm not sure about you guys, the heavy equipment stuff. It doesn't make it any easier for me to turn around. And the one over on my place, like I said, doesn't bother me at all. My wife was in here 2 weeks ago and asked for the engineering reports that I've heard about over and over. And Fernando sends back a message to her, a text that I need to get from you. I don't think you have them, do you?
Thank you. Under citizens' comments, I can't comment back to you, Mr. Bowles.
Okay. I'm learning a little more as we go along.
As
But that's
we
who
go
I was
along.
told to get them from, is you.
As we go along.
And still have not got them 2 weeks in. I don't believe there is any. Fernando, I didn't get up there and call your name, but I think you've lied about the whole deal, off and on. I got some email. You told 3 people that are respected in this county, you wanted Roger Boyner to have to drive across the speed bump. Roger Boyner don't have a problem driving across that speed bump. I just told you that. Put some more of them up. Guardrails, asinine would be the word for it. So the only thing I've left to do, I was supposed to got this yesterday. The judge told me I would get it yesterday, but David and whoever, I'm assuming when I didn't hear from Lewis anymore that he was instructed by the county attorney to, you're not supposed to respond to it.
I'm not supposed to, and I'm not. I'm not saying anything.
But I didn't hear from him
I had
yesterday,
something
and he walks up to me and hands it to me a while ago. And it's just as unacceptable as the guardrails. I'm only asking for one thing. And you gotta understand, I have, Tito told me that he lives down the street, and we all know who Tito is here. He said, don't mess it up for everybody now. I love the guardrails. Now, he's not took care of the problem, fellas. It has not took care of the problem. But it has dramatically slowed people down. And I just don't have any choice. He's not going to do anything. So I'm going to file a lawsuit against Valverde County. And my goal will be, I have a problem saying this, will be to single out Fernando, so I'm dealing with him. So that I don't have to have David to defend him. If I can get him out of it. Because the gravel that was put down is all over the place. He's made 2 or 3 threats, have my wife arrested. Me first, but I didn't do anything out there. I didn't spray no gravel. I didn't do nothing. We've admitted openly that my wife tried to pressure wash it out, knocked the glass out of her. We got that documented. Knocked the glass out of her Wagoneer. The rock's still everywhere. They've had to get screw down there with a leaf blower, blowing the rocks out in the ditch. I don't know what the difference is in that and my wife. And you don't pull with a woman out of control, boys. I stood there and watched it, and I just watched it. And so, let me see here if well, without looking, the reason I know there is no engineering stuff, there's not a one of them spaced. I've measured them all. There's none of them spaced. We started out with 4 posts on the rail. Looked like it got a budget deal to me on the way down. We went down to 3 posts. Some of them are like this. Fernando, you don't have to smile. If you want to smile, come and see me and smile. I have probably said enough. Like I said, I'll be filing suit against Valverde County. Believe me, it's the last thing I want to do. I thought this would get worked out at first, but I've seen in the past month that it's not going to happen. He's not willing to do anything so that I can get out and do business over there in that commercial property. He wants to leave that, again, I've said this before, he wants to leave the other one there, it's fine. But leaving the sign there and leaving the rails there, and taking the rails, it doesn't help me. And I welcome anybody that wants to come out and pull a 53-foot trailer through there that I have the delivery and make a turn around that sign. It's like I said, it's asinine. Kelly, have I missed anything that you want me to bring up? I would like to know where these so-called reports are that he was supposed to have done that he told me in front of Fernando. He didn't do it. He just marked. I think I know where they got laid out. I think Fernando laid them out. So, appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mr. Bowden.
There's only one that he missed was the fact that Bayview Drive did not need any gravel. The road did not need any work on it. The road was fine. All that was needed was speed bumps to slow the traffic down. We now have a gravel road. We don't have the road that we had. Lakeshore last year got asphalt. Lakeshore Drive.
Lakeshore. I wonder why it's asphalted all the way from end to end. I'm a little curious about this myself. It's been asphalted end to end, and Fernando took care of that. And we get chipped on a road that we don't have a problem.
The road was
people live
not,
down there, so what's it put down for? And now it's wasted. I heard it was $40,000 or something to chip it, and it's going to have to be redone. Let's button it up. They got a big day.
So at this time, I'm requesting the engineer reports for Bayview Drive for everything that was done and Lakeshore as to how it was constructed, the asphalt, all of it. So there's 2 requests for engineer reports. We'll see you, I guess, in 2 weeks to get those, if that's how this works. That's all we got to say.
Thank you.
And I've been told that every reaction by a gentleman creates a reaction. So let's react. Let's have a good one. I'm not concerned about anything else. That don't sound right, I know.
Here's some more agendas. Does anybody need another agenda? Anybody else? Are we good? All And here are some addendums that y'all need down. And I'm sorry, I just walked away from the desk.
Yes.
They brought it yesterday with you in the morning.
All right, we're gonna continue back with citizens' comments. Mr. Keller, Tom Keller.
I have a
And real quick,
presentation.
Mr. Keller, just go ahead and come on up. If you'll just, when y'all come up, if y'all will, say who you are, that way it's on the record.
Yeah, I'm Tom Keller.
There you go.
And I have a presentation that should,
He's ready.
Let's go
pointing
slide
that
one.
he's ready. And then we were handed a petition for Commissioner's Court earlier, and then another document, Howard's,
well, the
transmission.
petition is coming after me. My wife will speak to that, Marilyn Keller. This is the Howard Solstice transmission line, is your handout, which is just a copy of the slides for your record. And then following that is a list of everybody in, every property owner in the county that's on this preferred route, as well as all the property owners that are on any possible route. But let's go, I'm here to ask for the fact that the utilities preferred route was just announced March 3rd, just what, less than 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, but, and so this is all new news. And its impact upon the county is all new news, and everything is moving along really fast. The route can be changed if the county wants it changed. The county has to file as an intervener in the administrative hearing that's coming up in mid-May. It's very soon. And the deadline for filing to be an intervener in the case is a week from today. It's all very rushed. What being an intervener means, and that's what this petition addressed, is it gives you a standing in the court case. Meaning, if you don't intervene, you're not part of the case. And so the strong letters you've written against the transmission line in the county will be ignored unless you intervene. They can't be entered as evidence. Next slide. So the preferred route loves Val Verde County more than any other county in Texas. Val Verde County is in yellow. The preferred route is in red. And it comes in southeast of the county, goes up the county, and then right before it gets to Crockett County, it changes its mind and goes west in order to stay in Val Verde County. It's a little over 100 miles in Val Verde County, and that will be a track, a clear-cut 200 feet wide. These towers are 160 plus feet tall. That's a 16-story building. There's 4 towers per mile. And let's move on to slide 3. And it's really going to impact this county because you've got more conservation easements, including 2 state natural areas, than any other county in Texas. And it turns out that those state natural areas are because of Devil's River, and this route follows them very closely, which is a problem. Next slide. So this is it's hard to see from a distance. This is a visibility map, and it says you see more pylons the thicker the red dots are. Some people see 2 or 3 or 4 pylons. Some people get more than 33 pylons from their anchorage. And when I say see, I don't mean the traditional viewshed chart, which is all about radio transmissions and not really about eyesores. This is big enough that when you look at it on the distance, you'll say, that's an ugly transmission tower. That's not something just glinting off there that's too small to see. So let's move on to the next chart. This shows the impact on the two state natural areas. This is a different color scale. This shows how many pylons you can see if you're in that color. Each dot is colored. Each dot is 1.8 acres. This is extremely fine-grained, and this tells you, and it changes because of the placement of the pylons, the route, and the contours of the landscape. So because these routes are coming in from Kinney County, it's a lot flatter down there. You see more people are that dark color, and they see more and more towers. So the pollution is worse. We see that the Devils River State Natural Area, 1/3 of its acreage will see these towers. So here we have a state natural area, state park, and if you're in 1/3 of its acreage, you're going to be seeing this transmission line forever. The Hughes unit gets hit in the south, gets hit with about 21% of its acreage will see the transmission line. And that's the end of my foils. I'll just say, I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I want to try to motivate you as a county to intervene. One of the reasons is there's lots of families that will be impacted by this. The number of unique property owners on Route 4 is 58. And a list of those property owners is in the handouts. So you'll see, and some people from Kinney County are probably here, but that's 58 in the preferred route. And if we can get the route changed, it will change to some of the other engineered links, they call them, of which there are 47 in Val Verde County, with 232 different property owners. So if Route 4 is chosen, you're going to have a minimum of 58 very unhappy people, and their neighbors who are not listed as having any standing because the clear cut is not on their property. But you'll be able to see this thing for 6, 8, 10 miles. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Hodge Kelly? Ms. Kelly?
Judge, County Commissioners, I want to thank you for taking the time to study and address this very important issue. I've turned in a petition that was signed in a short amount of time by close to 50 people, and I'd like to ask you to seriously consider it to intervene. I know some people have expressed concern that intervening might be expensive, and I want to point out that you have a very, very competent county attorney, and he could file the intervention himself without having to hire an outside lawyer. It's maybe a 1.5 to 2 page intervention, and then I know he's very busy, but he could choose, and you could choose as time allows, how much you want to be involved. So this does not have to be an expensive proposition or a utterly time-consuming proposition. It could be done fairly simply, just so that you are on the record and you have a chance to express your concern. This also, some people have said, well, this is just going to affect a few landowners, although my husband mentioned how many it would affect, but this affects the whole county. This opens up a utility corridor that could destroy Val Verde County. It took me a while to go through AEP's extensive filings, but if you look in their extensive filings, they're also going to have communications lines, fiber optic lines under the electric lines. They're going to be allowed to build structures outside the right-of-way. And although there can't be data centers right now in the right-of-way, this opens it up for data centers to be connected in the future. So this could destroy the county that we love so much. I grew up here in Del Rio, and my husband and I have been blessed to be able to move back here to a ranch in northern Val Verde. So I just want to thank you, and I hope you will seriously consider this.
Thank you.
Robert? Ron? And there is a packet in front of you that I put Bob on one corner. That one, the other one you have right here. Up on top.
Thank you, Judge Owens and Commissioners. My name is Bob Tierney. I own property on Myers Ranch Road. I've been out there for 25 years. And I'm here to talk about the fragile nature of the Cap Rock in Val Verde County. It's fragile because of a geologic phenomenon called karst geology. Karst, K-A-R-S-T, is a region in Italy, so we won't worry about that, but it's full of caves and similar structures that we have in this county. These structures, surface-wise, are sinkholes, caves, springs. Subsurface, they create caverns, underground rivers. There's a place 2 miles west of me where I'm told by two different landowners that if you move the rock, you can literally hear the water running underneath. So when I say fragile, I'm talking fragile. And all we have to do is look at what is going on at Lake Amistad right now with that catastrophic issue with a sinkhole that's in the bottom of the lake. It's catastrophic. So the Texas Geological Society did a survey on karst features in this area. Crockett County has 91, Sutton County 106, Edwards County has 299, Kinney County has 110, Terrell County has 84. We have 640 in Val Verde County. And those are features they've identified. We know there's hundreds more probably. I guarantee you there are no spelunkers on my property, but I've identified 10 features on my property alone that are karst. So this is extremely fragile. Recently, well not recently, in 2020, there was a pipeline being put in Blanco County, where they had to go under the Blanco River to get better depth for the line, and when they did, they hit a karst feature. And they took out, so what happened was the drilling mud channeled in, because the karst features underground create lots of cavities. These small cavities turn into big cavities. They can be turned into caverns full of water, or just empty that create then sinkholes. So in this case, when they channeled that drilling mud underground, it went into this karst feature and took out multiple freshwater wells in the area. And they ultimately had to change course. So again, we got some real fragility here. I have two proposals that I'd like you to consider. Because these surfaces, as I said, can be very fragile to the fresh water, but they also can be very critical to construction of roads, buildings. You know, sinkhole development is a problem, and can imagine what it might do with a transmission tower that's 18 stories tall. So, first proposal is that the county create a karst geology unit to work within the engineering department. This can be a low cost, it's not a heavy dollar on your budget. In fact, you could even fund it by requiring tower fee per tower of $1,000 or $2,000, whatever you consider the administration fee to be. But the purpose of this is to check the development of these towers one at a time. You can only imagine that a project this size has a construction crew that's going to come out and lay 20 pads in a row, you know, economy of scales. Then another crew will come in and put in the holes for the feet, and then et cetera, et cetera. Well, that first location may be a problem, and we may not know it's a problem until they've done 25 other locations. So we got to start right at the beginning. So the proposal is this, that this karst unit develop two forms. One's called T1, tower, and one is the first form. This form is a construction proposal. And what we would want to see on that is, one is a plat. Where are you putting this pad? Because you're going to have to come in with a bunch of caliche probably and build a pad. On that pad, on this plat, we want to see where are the 4 footings. And how big a hole are you going to do? Is this a 10 by 10, 20 by 20? What is it? We want to know where it is. And then this is the critical part. We want them then to drill a core right in the middle of that rectangle and take a core sample so we know that they haven't penetrated the cavern. They're not going to create an instant sinkhole. They're not contaminating underground rivers or streams. I mean, that right there will tell us if that location is a go or no go. Also want a tower sketch. We want to know exactly what they're planning. How big is this one? How heavy is it? Where are their guide wires? How many guide wires are they putting down? And finally, we want to know the cementing report for each one of these 4 feet. How deep is the hole? How much cement do you expect to pour into that hole? Then after that, and we want to know the type of cement they're using as well. From there, Form 2, T2 is just a data sheet. What we want to do is have some comparison to what they said they were going to do and what did they actually do. And extreme attention would be put on how much cement did they use. If they said they were going to use 100 and they use 120, well then we know 20% of that has channeled somewhere other than where they thought it was going to be. And this is catastrophic. As I said, just take that incident in Blanco County. Any mud engineer will tell you, cement, when you don't get circulation, you lose it, it's gone somewhere. And if it goes into anything out there, I don't have a water well on my property. I'd like to maybe one day, and I sure don't want to drill one and discover that it's got cement runoff. You know, there might be some sort of acid in there that makes it undrinkable, which is exactly what happened to the wells in Blanco County. So we want to see where the cement went. So we have two front issues. Do the core, make sure you didn't go through anything. Show us the cement. Where did that cement go? If the engineering department has a tolerance level, let's say you say 100, we'll give you 10% tolerance for loss or what have you. But if it's greater than whatever our guideline is, then we tell them to stop. We tell them they need to have a show cause hearing or a show cause address to where they show cause why they should continue. And they can do that in several ways. They could show a little 3D seismic if necessary. They've got to do a radius and say, okay, we know we lost the cement. Here's where it went. This is how we're going to take care of it so it doesn't happen on the next one or next tower. So that's plan 1. And that's to monitor the whole process. Proposal number 2, the county should require in this case, AEP, to provide an end of project life cycle decommissioning plan. Now that's standard in big business. We know every project has a life cycle. And these towers are never going to be everything they claim to be over time. New technology may take care of the volume that they think they're going to, 765 kilovolts. Is that line going to run at 20% capacity in 2 years because new technology out there has created different energy sources? So we have to have something in place that tells us how they're going to get rid of these towers when the time is up. Accompanying that, I think they should be required to file a blanket performance bond with the county, showing us that they got the money in place, that they're actually going to take these down. This decommissioning plan should have a planning phase, an engineering phase, a deconstruction phase, and a reclamation phase. These aren't, I don't like the idea that this is their idea of being out there for perpetuity. I have seen it personally. I had a project in Wyoming where I had run into federal government regulations that made no sense because I had to have a raptor specialist come in and give me a report. And I said, there are no eagles out here. I don't even see a damn tree within a 360. There's no rock outcrops. Follow me. So we went on this little trail ride, and sure enough, we go into this draw, and there are these towers. The project failed, and the towers are there. Now, of course, they're big birdhouses that cause me problems. But the point is, there's no reason to think that this is going to be a clear, clean project that's going to be just 100% efficient. So we have that problem. I think this is fair and reasonable request on any big company coming into our county. And when I tell you again that it's fragile, there's no do-over. They contaminate one aquifer out there. They create one sinkhole out there. It's there. We don't get a do-over. They don't get a do-over. And they can't do it trial and error. They've got to have some strategic planning so we can verify this. Thank you.
Thank you. Clay Carthon?
Sorry. Thank you, Judge Owens, Commissioners, and County Attorney's Office. My name is Clay Carthal, and I'm here to ask the county to act as an intervener in alternative Route 4 of the Howard Solstice Transmission Line project. My family owns land in northern Val Verde County's Devils River watershed and in Kinney County, all of which will be directly impacted by Route 4. The most immediate and severe impacts of this project will fall on the landowners directly in the path of the 765 kilovolt transmission line, which is the biggest ever constructed in Texas. Ranchers, livestock, and wildlife will have to endure the destruction of native habitat, the loss of archaeological and cultural history, the potential health risks associated with long-term exposure to high-voltage electricity, degradation of ecotourism value, and the risk to groundwater from drilling into sensitive karst limestone for the tower foundations. Landowners will also face significant economic harm, with property values potentially reduced by as much as 45% due to the appearance of the structures and the uncertain future they present. However, rural landowners, livestock, wildlife, and our scenic views are not the only potential victims of this project. The consequences of allowing this infrastructure project to be hastily approved and constructed will cascade across the entire county. Every electric ratepayer will share in the cost. Electric bills will go up, and not just for families and small businesses, but even for city and county government buildings just like this one. Despite the fact that electricity flowing down this line will not be available to the citizens of the land it crosses, the cost of this project, which will soar into the multiple billions of dollars, will be extracted from us. And there are even broader economic risks to Val Verde County. The proposed route lies within the flight training area of Laughlin Air Force Base. If Laughlin determines that this project interferes with pilot training operations, there's a real possibility that they could scale back or even relocate. Yep, we know the economic impact of losing that base would be totally devastating to this county. And now for the physical footprint of this project, Alternative Route 4 stretches approximately 96 miles through the agricultural backbone of Val Verde County. For a little perspective, that's basically from here to the Hannes. It's over 500,000 feet of transmission line, times 3, because they're going to run 3 lines on those towers. Those lines make audible cracking and buzzing noises 24/7. This project is going to require approximately 336 massive lattice towers at their standard 1,500-foot spacing. With 4 legs per structure, that creates more than 1,300 individual foundation points. Each one of those requiring deep drilling and pouring tons of concrete into fragile karst terrain to anchor those towers. That's over 1,300 opportunities to disrupt, contaminate, or permanently alter the groundwater systems that this region so desperately depends on. At this huge scale, this is no longer just an infrastructure project. It's a permanent reshaping of this county's landscape, economy, and resources. If this project must move forward, there are viable alternative routes that follow existing infrastructure corridors, which would significantly reduce these impacts. Projects like these do set precedent because once this corridor is established, it becomes far easier for additional infrastructure to follow. Talking about more power lines, solar farms, and worst of all, high water consumption AI data centers. And that is why I'm asking this court to take formal action. I respectfully urge you to intervene in this project on behalf of all of the citizens of Val Verde County. And, while the monetary cost of intervening may seem significant now, the cost of not intervening will be far, far greater and far, far more permanent. As elected officials, you are not only empowered to act, you are obligated to ensure that the interests of this county's land, water, economy, and people are fully represented in this process. Without your involvement, those interests risk being overlooked in decisions that will shape this region for generations. Without formal intervention, this county does not have a guaranteed seat at the table in the regulatory process. We are all temporary stewards of this land. If you don't intervene and the Public Utilities Commission approves Route 4, we will only have to live with the consequences for a few decades, maybe some more decades than others. But future generations are going to have to live with the consequences for their entire lifetimes to come. The question is probably not whether this project will move forward. The question is whether this county is going to have a voice in how it does. I'm asking you to make certain that it does have a voice. Finally, it's my understanding that the county attorney can intervene relatively easily in this. And my question to y'all, how could you not intervene? Thank you.
Mr. Hodge, Byron? No? Not here. Nuns? Randy? Nuns?
Good morning. Thank you, Judge and Commissioners. I'm Randy Nuns. I'm a landowner on the Devils River, one of the founding directors of the Devils River Conservancy. Also live in San Antonio, so I'll be paying for this Howard Solstice infrastructure project twice as a ratepayer because they're going to spread the cost out elsewhere. A lot of good comments have been made earlier, and I hope I can add a little something to that. I know every community has, their bullet points and their concerns, and unfortunately, there's no silver bullet for anybody. Nobody's going to win on this deal. And so, as I advocate for protection of the entire county, I don't wish any harm on anybody else. And this is part of the utilities design is to, we're at a huge disadvantage. It ends up being neighbor versus neighbor. So if we don't like the route on our ranch, put it on his ranch. And so it's hard to have a group consensus. I know people up and down the 370 miles project, they're all concerned, but at the end of the day, everybody's going to protect their own. So again, I don't have any silver bullets, but I do wish to offer you a couple of things to add to the county's resume, basically. If and when, and I hope the county attorney will intervene, that will make the utilities realize how unique Val Verde County is. Everybody thinks they are, but I think we're at a whole nother level. The first item is that Mr. Keller pointed out is that out of the 254 counties in Texas, this is number one in acres under conservation easements. We're not talking about just the parks. We're talking about ranchers in this room who've done their own conservation easements to the tune of over 200,000 acres. And so when the utilities look at their criteria of how they decide where any one of the 77 potential routes go, community values is something that they have on the list. I'm not too sure how much weight they put on that, because everybody touts community values. But when you look at the application that they put in and they considered conservation easements, they only had like 5 for Val Verde County. And they said there are 0 conservation easements in Kenny, Sutton, and Crockett County. So all around us, they got nothing. So doesn't that make Val Verde County elite status in that regard? Because the other criteria they consider is that, well, we won't go across parks for obvious reasons. And they give consideration to conservation easements, but these properties are not immune from the eminent domain once it comes down to it. But if they consider that on a per property basis, we appreciate that. However, Val Verde County, the whole county is blessed with the type of landscape, the 3 overlapping ecoregions, the incredible rivers, the Devils, Pecos, and the Rio Grande, has made these properties so valuable as a refuge for humans to go and recharge their soul, not go charge their iPhone. That's an argument I used against another project. But that you can put that on your list of, you know, important community values. There's a lot of other things that you're probably aware of, but I'd like to help you with that list. I mean, who else has a National Historic Landmark status from the U.S. Department of Interior for the all the rock art? And it's not just one site. They were able to go around to about 35 of them out of the 350 that are in the county, because that's all that they could get to. And so it covers sites on the Devils, the Pecos, and the Rio Grande as well. So National Historic Landmark status is unique. We've got a growing bear population. I don't know if they can climb these lattice towers, but put that on the list. Also, eminent domain is just, I don't say evil, because I know there's good reasons to use it, and that's what the utilities say to justify it, is that there's public benefit. Okay, well, how about conservation easements provide public benefit in perpetuity? I mean, you won't have to worry about decommissioning these places because it's forever. We're preserving this landscape, the wildlife, the plants for everyone, not just the ranch owners. And so that's why we have such a strong ecotourism industry here. People come here to get away from big industrialized structures. One other thing that's a little different, in fact, it's a big difference. We've got a Chinese billionaire oligarch who owns tens of thousands of acres here. Now, I'm not a lawyer. However, I did get involved in the Lone Star Infrastructure Protection Act because of Mr. Sun Guanxin from Xinjiang, China, because of the risk involved with providing access to critical infrastructure by entities from adverse regimes. He's a member of the Communist Party. In fact, within the corporation back in Xinjiang, he's got a department for party building. He's made public statements that his children will not inherit the company. It's going to go back to the motherland. And furthermore, one of the significant owners was Evergrande from China. I don't know if you heard about their, they kind of started the building and housing implosion in China and was going bankrupt. Well, the Chinese government stepped in and forced them to sell their shares of Mr. Guanxin's corporation to Shenergy. Shenergy is a Shanghai-based energy company that's a state-owned entity. So China owns 41% of the land in Valverde County. Everything that's under the name of Brazos Highland Properties is a subsidiary of that corporation back in Xinjiang. And it's just not me as a conspiracy theorist. The government of Australia's parliament passed a law to divest their interest in the Xinjiang Gonghui Industry Investment Group because of the ties of the company with the Communist Party and the human rights abuses of the ethnic minorities in Xinjiang, China. So they divested their shares in the government's sovereign wealth fund. So that's just a little more documentation. on that. So is there a risk that this guy has his agents? I don't think he's here anymore, or coming here. He may, but I think that anybody could reason that there might be, if it comes down to hostilities between our countries. You know, our infrastructure's at risk, but also it just may be illegal for them to do it. And so I don't have standing as a landowner that has this power line proposal on my land, but I certainly want the state to consider avoiding that and not to go on the next neighbor's land. But if they avoid these 100,000 acres that they still have, it'll save maybe dozens of properties with some of these routes. I know I'm going on for a while, so pull the plug if I need to, but I'm pretty obsessed about this. Other things is, you know, there's this one preferred route from the engineers that they put up there out of the 77. In the same paragraph, they say, but we're okay with all 77 routes if you choose to do that. And they had their list of criteria, how they came up with that. It doesn't take into account these major issues that I think should shield Val Verde County. But also, the PUC has the ability to choose Route 77 or 64. Those don't go into Val Verde County at all. So there's, you know, one effort to modify Route 4, the preferred route. People are saying, go over here on these other routes. You can also take any of these routes, and the PUC can, under suggestion, just add a link to one of the established 77 routes and make it go somewhere else. So you're not locked in. Yeah, I think it's we're up against a big challenge for sure. But I would like to add one more thing that Bob Tierney touched on, is on the karst. You know, all that drilling may affect our spring flow, obviously, where they put the footings for these pylons. But we have proof. With the Rock Springs Wind Farm, they couldn't install a couple of those towers, the wind turbines, because the foundations were unstable. So they brought in a contractor who drilled, I don't know how deep or how much concrete they pumped in there, but they had to do that for several of those wind towers. So I, again, will, I signed the petition. I really hope that the county can have a seat at the table, and that's all we're asking for. Have a seat at the table and maybe have a little influence in what goes on with this obscene structure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Selena de los Santos. Another Selena. It's on a totally different topic.
I think it's totally different. Good afternoon. This is just with the lights on Cienegos Road that I own property in 2680 Cienegos Road, 109 Owens, and 121 Owens Road. There's a development there of apartments. There is 6, 12, I have like 11 units, and that's, you know, tenants that are there, and a lot of them have complained about it being very dark. There's no lights out there. There's a curve right before the duck pond. So I'm just for, you know, getting lights installed out there. That's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna go to the addendum and go to the item on the light tower, if you don't mind.
I don't know.
All that, was under citizens' comments. We're gonna go ahead and go to the item, to the addendum, and do that now. Discussion possible action, Howard, power transmission lines. We've all heard, everybody that's come up, that they want us to file paperwork in order to intervene. Would that be the right correct?
Yes, sir.
I've got a couple of questions, David. During everybody's comments, or most of them, if we're not, if we don't do it, then my question would be is, all these letters that we've been sending, do they have more punch if we, and some of y'all are gonna get mad at my comments, but I'm pretty good at making people mad. When we do this, if we do this, if the court decides to do this, because I have a hard time saying yes to it.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't know, what happens after the county votes on it and we become part of it.
Right.
What's our liability? I mean, I do think that the letters that we sent, we can do more. But
I
at
would
what
think,
point?
Judge, that the letters that this court has sent in the past do not necessarily fall on deaf ears. But obviously, as an intervener, if the county were to intervene formally, that basically does give the county a seat at the table. But with that also comes some obligations. One of the key obligations when you're talking about civil litigation is participating in discovery. So if AEP were to send us written discovery requests, deposition requests, and all, we would, as an intervener, you're basically a party and you have to participate. I don't know exactly. I know I reached out to several county attorneys along the proposed route. Nobody called me back. I've not seen that any other county attorney for any other county has formally intervened as of yet. That doesn't mean that they won't. The deadline is April the 1st, and it is not a difficult process to file the paperwork to be an intervener. We really don't know, we wouldn't know what to expect thereafter. I can tell you that if the court wants us to be an intervener, wants our office to be involved as an intervener, we're prepared to do that, Judge.
Okay, so my question would be is, if we get into this and we start spending a ton of money on it,
right,
and it's not really something that we want to continue,
right,
can we just sort of throw the papers at them and walk away?
we could. When you choose to participate in a lawsuit, you can choose to get out of the lawsuit as well. There are no actions being taken against, there are no cross actions. Obviously, at this point, I don't anticipate that there would be, but I certainly would expect.
And David, I have a hard time
Yes,
voting to do it if I don't have an out
right.
at some point.
I have some information, Judge.
Yes, Commissioner.
So I heard somebody that has some experience with this say that basically it's what Mr. Martinez is saying. If one of these landowners in the gallery has as an intervener and then they realize they can't afford it any longer and they stop communication with the Public Utilities Commission, they'll just kick you off the list. Like they eject you for not participating. If you don't answer back, just as Mr. Martinez said, then you're no longer an intervener. You took yourself out of the race.
Oh, and yeah, again, that's just what you said. I mean, at some point
Well,
we could say,
and I don't think it's that simple. At the end of the day, if we formally file a motion to intervene, obviously, we would be an intervener. If we were to opt out or choose at some point along the road that we no longer want to participate as an intervener, we would have to file basically a non-suit, so to speak.
and the other thing, and I can't remember who it was, but they said that, I think it was Mr. Nunn, that said that some people also don't have a problem with the route, some of the landowners, and I've had some of those conversations. They're not here. Okay. And one of them, the conversations last week was with an individual is, look, they've pretty much done 80% of what we want them to do, but the other side's still not happy. So that's another concern of mine is that we're fixing to get into a lawsuit that we have two sides, and who are we,
Right.
who are we screaming for? Does that make sense?
It does, Judge, without a doubt. I know that there are, when it comes to this particular issue, some of the letters that this court has sent out, I don't know that there has been an emphasis placed on some of the areas of concern that have been raised today. For example, Mr. Cartel, brought up a good point. Has anybody run this by the Department of Defense and the Air Force?
And we were fixing to do some, I can't remember who I spoke with, but I think Mr. Keller maybe. I spoke with somebody the other day, and we have the flight patterns.
Right.
And we have the transmission lines, and we can overlay them.
Right.
Because you have, and it's the same thing as with the wind farm.
wind farms, exactly.
Yeah, with the wind farm, if you were to throw a dart at a board and say, okay, I don't want it to hit here, that's where it would hit. Where everything, there was 3 different type of flight patterns, and all of them converged and sort of cross paths in this one area.
Right.
So it's pretty simple to take the flight patterns that we know we have. I'm looking at Carlos, that we know we have, and overlay it over the map Route 4. It's a simple process.
Right.
But we
And
only
Route
have,
4 goes literally all across the county. So,
and we only have till April 1st. So if we're
Right.
going to do it, this court needs to vote to do it. My only concern in voting for it, if the court votes yes, is that at some point, if we feel we need to get out, that we're able to get out.
I don't think that would be an issue, Judge.
Okay.
There's another thing, Judge. The letters that we sent, I think they can carry more weight if they go in as a protest. There's apparently, you can be anybody can protest this across the county, but if you're affected by it, that's how you can become an intervener. But an intervener can also do a letter of protest. So if we could resubmit, it's an option, we could resubmit the letter as a protest, and it would carry more weight than what we already sent.
In order to do this, if we need to go present the letter or get up and speak to get this process going,
Right.
let's just say we vote right now and we're going to go do it.
Okay.
How do we set up some funds that way to make sure that you're able to go if you need to go? Does that make sense? You have funds in your office.
We can start passing a hat around here, Judge.
Again, I do have concerns about doing it, but
Without a doubt, Judge. Obviously,
we need to talk about it now.
Yes.
Versus,
yeah.
a little Band-Aid and then you keep coming
The
back.
budget could become an issue
Mhm.
if this thing gets pretty extensive and pretty involved.
I would rather set some funds aside now in order to make sure that, well, let's do this. If we talk about, because it'd have to be all inclusive. If we vote to do it, then we need to set some funds aside. And make sure that those funds are set aside for your office to be able to go if you need to go or whatever. And again, I can't emphasize enough how much heartburn I have with being an intervener, okay? And I just need to make sure that it doesn't put us in a position later on that we're like, oh, Jesus, what did we get into? And now it's costing. You have a petition here of 50-some-odd people. We represent 49,000 people, okay? And again, I'm not trying to throw, a wrench in the gears or nothing like that, but there has to be a process that if this, in my opinion, that if this gets rough and now we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, is it really our fight or is it the landowner's fight? And I'm looking at you because you're the one looking at me. So I need y'all to understand where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to throw rocks.
GoFundMe for the county.
Okay. 25 just to get started that way in case you do.
I think so, Judge. I think it would be wise if we
just
get
to be able to
involved.
get started,
We would have to probably go to Austin, visit with some members of
We're
the
gonna take
Natural
a look here.
Resource Committee.
What number?
I know we have some friends on that
It's on that
committee, Judge. So, it'd be worth it to go to Austin and spend some time up there.
I will,
And I'll say this too, Judge, I certainly appreciate all of the comments that have been made in an effort to get the county to to participate as a formal intervener, I would fully expect that the landowners that are here and that have spoken and some that have not spoken would be ready, willing, and available to assist in this process.
The first step, David, I guess, would be to see if the court wants to
Absolutely,
participate.
that's what I'm saying, if the court.
If the court wants to participate in this, I will entertain a motion to do so.
I will make a second on that, Judge, and set aside, what, $20,000?
25.
About
You make
25?
the motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Judge.
Okay, there's a motion to become an intervener, to set aside $25,000.
And Judge, can we add our letter becoming a formal protest?
Yeah, it's not a problem. I mean, we got copies of it right now. I think just by the Congress, let me get a second. Is there a second to his motion?
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. I have a second, Commissioner Wardlaw. And in the conversation that David, what he was saying right now is there's probably going to be more added to the letter just because of like what you said, there's been more brought up.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But we're not going to set up a department to go get permits, within this motion. We're not going to set up another department, an engineering department. That's not part of this motion. Okay? Now I'm looking at you. Any other discussions or comments?
I want to say something.
That's not coming.
Yeah. So, I think the county needs to support the landowners that are affected. I'm not so sure we need to take the lead. And, everything starts off, really good. World War I started because everyone got excited, we're gonna do this. And, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I think what we have is good intentions, but where are we headed? We filed to intervene, and then what? And then we start incrementally increasing this to the point that we're in too deep. And maybe we can't handle this, and maybe we bit off more than we could chew. My question is, do we have to intervene for the landowners affected to have their fair day in court?
In essence, we wouldn't be intervening on behalf of the landowners.
It's Valverde County.
We would be intervening on
Because like
behalf of the
one of the-
entity that is Valverde County.
One of the slides says that the route can be changed if Valverde County intervenes. Well, the route can be changed even if we don't intervene. Is that not true? Do we have to intervene for the route to be changed?
That's a difficult question to answer. I would think that in order to ensure that our voice is heard, we have to be at the table.
Okay.
That's what I wanted you to say.
It's a fair question to ask.
No, absolutely.
And this route goes through precinct 3 from one end to the other. And a lot of my constituents are affected, and a lot of them are asking me to become involved. And I want to. It's just, I also have a lot of other constituents in precinct 3 that are not affected, that probably would not want the county spending a lot of money on this to affect 50-something people,
Right.
So I want both sides to be heard and know, and I am planning to vote for this, but I just want everyone to be aware that it might get to the point that we have to cut our losses and get out.
And outrun it.
And if we do get out, they need to understand that at the end of the day, it's the property owner's right to sell their land, not sell their land, and to defend their land, and they need to intervene, and they need to fight this with attorneys, with lobbyists, with scientists that can prove their points. And it's not the county's responsibility to do that for them. That's it.
I hear you.
Judge, I'd like to say something. I would feel more comfortable if the property owners, the ranchers, would file a lawsuit themselves, protecting their properties, and the county supporting that process. Because we're not the property owners. Yeah, we want to help them. We want to protect their land to a certain point, but how much is this going to cost?
That's how come we figured we'd start off with 25,000. That way we have a dollar amount, out of contingency. Will that be part of your motion? You okay with that? Or attorney's other, which one do you want it out of? Contingency? Okay. I have reservations. I really do. That there has to be a way out in case this thing really, really goes south. All right. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. I have a second, Commissioner Wardlaw. We will be sending another letter so it makes sure that, part of the opposition and part of, whatever needs to be filed up at the state. I'm gonna take a roll call vote. That way we don't know exactly how everybody voted. Commissioner Wardlaw, how do you vote? For. Commissioner Vasquez, how do you vote?
In favor, Judge?
Commissioner Garcia, how do you vote?
In favor.
Commissioner Flores, how do you vote?
In favor, Judge.
And I vote in favor. It's a 5-0 vote. Motion passes. All right. And, real quick, I want to thank y'all for coming. You don't know how much this means to us, that y'all would actually take the time out of your day to be here. Thank you for all the information and thank y'all for coming. All right, we're going to move on to other items. Y'all have a great day. We good? We're good. All right. Commissioner Vasquez has a bunch of items on here, and I think Jocelyn, Belong, and everybody are here, so we're gonna go to those items, that way we can move forward. Did y'all have questions or anything? Are y'all okay?
Does that mean y'all are intervening?
Yes, sir. Yeah, motion was to intervene, set aside $25,000 to start. Took a roll call vote, it was a 5-0 vote.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners and County Attorney. Good job, guys.
Good luck to us. Here we go. I'm gonna move on to item 14, if you don't mind. Discussion of possible action to approve the request of Texas Department of State Health Services to use the Tony Foss Center for a weekly meeting on Wednesdays, commence April 8th.
Motion to approve, Judge, item number 14 is presented.
I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 15, discussion of possible action to ratify the use of Antonio.
Motion to approve, Judge, item number 15.
Thank you. Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. I'm gonna go ahead and stop right here. If y'all wanna leave, y'all leave. Y'all have a great day. I'm gonna take a little break while y'all walk out. Don't forget your phones and your wallets and everything else, yeah. Karen, here in a minute, you're gonna need to come back, because there's someone here, and Commissioner Vasquez likes pictures, so. All right, item 16. Discussion of possible action on proclamation recognizing April as Child Abuse Awareness Month from, SJRC Belong and Casa Valverde. Have a motion. Motion to approve, Judge. Second. Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. Did you want to read it?
Yeah, sure, I don't mind.
You want to read it?
Yes, sir. And I think Ms. Roxanne. Ms. Roxanne.
Or did y'all want to read it?
I think Ms. Roxanne. You want to read it, Ms. Roxanne, or you want me to, you can read it?
Now, why don't you get up here and read it?
There you go. Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
And that way we can clap.
More clap.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, thank you. Whereas in federal fiscal year 2025, 243 reports of child abuse or neglect were made to the Texas Department of Protective and Regulatory Services, with 50 confirmed child victims of abuse and neglect in Valverde County. And whereas child abuse and neglect is a serious problem affecting every segment of our community, and finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. And whereas our children are our most valuable resources and will shape the future of the state of Texas of Valverde County, and whereas child abuse can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects that have lasting consequences for victims of abuse. And whereas protective factors are conditions that reduce or eliminate risk and promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. And whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, business, law enforcement agencies, and families. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs and activities that create strong and thriving children and families. And whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. Now, County Judge Louis G. Owens does hereby proclaim April 2026 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in Val Verde County, Texas, and he urges all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating themselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families. Judge Owens further calls upon the citizens to work together to help reduce child abuse within our community by increasing their participation in efforts to support families, thereby strengthening our entire community. Judge Owens commends all organizations, including...
Let's change that one. It's Val Verde County Commissioners Court. Where it says Judge Owens, if you don't mind, just insert Val Verde Commissioners Court, because I'm looking at it in the back sheet, every member of the court is signing.
So Judge Owens and the Val Verde County Commissioners, the Val Verde County Commissioners commend all organizations, including SGRC Belong, CASA Val Verde County Child Welfare Board, the Department of Family and Protective Services, and local law enforcement for their continued commitment and dedication to helping meet the needs of child abuse victims.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores, and we'll get this signed over to you, a clean copy. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Again, if y'all want to come up, I'm sure that Commissioner Vasquez is going to want a picture, so y'all come on up. You want to come up? Because y'all stand on this side in front of us, and then we'll stand behind y'all.
I'm short, so.
Repeat that.
I'll squeeze in here.
David, go that way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, let me see. All right, everyone look over here and smile. One more. Okay, hang on, let me get with her.
I didn't realize how bad I looked when I saw myself in pictures. Like hell, I got old.
Photographer, not the
Thank you. And we'll get a signed copy of this over to y'all. Thank y'all.
Judge, you want me to scan it and change that to Commissioner's Court and you sign it?
Yeah.
Can I take it?
Thank y'all. Item 17, discussion possible action regarding the reclassification and reassignment of rooms at the Antonio Tony Hospital Center, specifically the relocation of Narcotics Anonymous from room F1 to D3 and approval for SJRC Belong to expand into the adjoining F1 due to the program growth.
Judge, I'll make a motion to approve, and the first part of my motion is I'll get with Mr. David,
Paperwork.
Yeah, do the paperwork. Yes,
I have a
sir.
second. Second. Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 18, discussion possible action on approval to utilize the procedure.
Motion to approve, Judge.
And this one is on Thursday?
Yes, sir. This is gonna be next Thursday at the Antonio Tony Foss Center.
What time, sir?
It's gonna be from 3:30 to 5, after the kids get out of school.
From 3:30 to 5.
Yes, sir.
Second.
On the motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 19, discussion possible action to approve the request from Casa Val Verde to utilize the precinct 2 Antonio Foss Annex to host a volunteer. Second. On the motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. And this one will be in the morning, Commissioner, do we know?
The time, Judge, on that is gonna be,
Well, if you can put it out, that way they'll know.
Okay.
All right, I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez and Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye, anybody against, motion carries 5-0. Item 20, discussion possible action on CASA Valverde County quarterly update. Are they here?
Ms. Allen, we're gonna see.
You wanna let them talk first?
Yes, sir.
I hope your phone don't die.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, County Commissioners. My name is Ana Moreno. I'm the Executive Director for Casa Valverde. Just wanted to give you a quick update on our quarterly statuses. Again, Casa Valverde stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. We recruit, train, and supervise community volunteers who are appointed by judges to advocate for the best interests of the children who are involved in child welfare and neglect cases, right? The CASA rose to provide constant child-focused advocacy through the legal process. We help the judges make decisions based on our observations to the families, to the children, right? We just submitted our quarterly report to Texas CASA on Friday, which was accepted, and our numbers have significantly improved from last quarter. So right now we have 14 active cases. We have 30 children who are being served. We have 12 advocates, active advocates, and we have 5 advocates in training currently right now. We closed one case and we reunited 5 children with their families. Casa Valverde extends its sincere gratitude to Judge Owens and the County Commissioners for your continuous support. We appreciate you guys, the support and providing us everything that we need so that we can provide the best services to the kids and supporting our mission, which is very important, so that we can support the most vulnerable children in our community. Again, thank you so much, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you. And I really do appreciate you taking the time to come give us a report.
Yes.
Usually people come get money and then they never show up.
No, I'll be doing
But you're one of the few that come.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. I did not get a second. Second. Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 21, discussion possible action request to approve the request from MJ Ibarra to use the Tony Foss Community Room for fairy godmother closet.
I'll make a motion to approve, Judge, and Ms. MJ is here, so you could give us a.
Now, what is that?
What is that?
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me a minute to come up here and give you a little bit of background on the Fairy Godmother Closet. So basically, the Fairy Godmother Closet is a program designed to support high school girls in our community who may not have the financial resources to prepare for prom. So for many of these young women, right, prom is a once-in-a-lifetime milestone which should not be denied to anyone. But the cost of the dresses, the shoes, and accessories can feel out of reach for some. So basically, the closet would aim to change that by providing gently used prom dresses and accessories in a welcoming, boutique-style environment where each girl can shop with dignity, confidence, and excitement. So for homecoming season, I did something very small scale out of my home, just by reaching out to different friends and family for gently used dresses. And I did receive several messages from people in the community wanting to come out, look at dresses, and so I probably donated like 13 dresses. What I did learn from that experience was that many of these young ladies, and I can completely understand, would have appreciated a more dignified experience by not coming to my house. I have a daughter in high school, so I can understand where that might have been a little more embarrassing, or they may have had a complex about it. So I feel like if we had a more public space where we could set an appointment and they'd have more of a shopping experience, the young ladies would have a more dignified experience and have the opportunity to make memories just like everybody else at school. So I appreciate your time and look forward to moving forward with the program. Thank you.
Thank you. Impressive. Motion, you gave the motion,
Yes,
Commissioner Vasquez gave the motion, do I have a second? Second, Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye, anybody against, motion carries 5-0.
I think it was Wardlow, Judge. Second.
Was it Wardlow, both on the screen?
Both of them did?
I don't know, I don't even know. That's the only thing I mess up on today, I'm doing pretty good. Anybody bring the cheese? Item 22, discussion possible action to authorize Valverde County to enter an electrical.
Motion to approve, Judge. Item number 22.
Motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. We did item 6, we kept on going and going and going. Item 7, we do have a treasurer's report. Motion, Commissioner Velasquez. Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. Discussion possible action on issuing a Fleet Source gas card, credit card. Thank you. Have a motion, Commissioner Commissioner Flores. Second.
Excuse me on that one. Yeah.
Commissioner Vasquez.
Yes, sir.
All those
Judge,
in
we have some
favor?
information on that one real quick. They already have a Fleet Source card. I believe this was supposed to say credit card. So we can check to say MasterCard.
Okay, so it's just credit card. Fleet Sources, okay, just credit card. All right. Motion accepts, Commissioner Flores. Second accepts. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Discussion possible action on a statement of support.
Motion approved, Judge.
Thank you.
Second, Judge.
And then we'll turn the lights a different color for sure. This is very, very important that we support this. Commissioner Flores, motion. Commissioner Vasquez, second. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Let me give you on number 10 a little bit of background before we vote on it. We're going to vote on it. Discussion possible action on an MOU between the City of Del Rio, San Felipe Del Rio Consolidated Independent School District, and Val Verde Regional Medical Hospital decided not to participate. I put that on there just in case they wanted to, but they already have an advocacy group and Val Verde County to hire an advocacy group. Cost us $48,000. There was 2 groups. Well, there was actually 5 companies that turned in paperwork proposals. Madison Group and Lone Star Consulting were the 2 that were called back in order to do interview by the City of Del Rio School District, and there was 2 people from the City of Del Rio School District was Dr. Rios and myself. The one that was picked to do both the advocacy group for the city, for the state and the federal was Lone Star. There was a concern because on Lone Star's application, they listed some individuals that were, they previously held office but were Democrats. So, concern was, how are we going to work with Republicans? So, well, it is what it is. A good question. They do have also within their advocacy group and the people that they hire, governors that were ex-Republicans and other staff members that are Republicans. So hopefully that will cover everything that we have. This was a little bit different, but they were the only one that submitted a proposal for $48,000 and change. Everybody else submitted it in the $100,000 range. Madison was $122,000. But what set Lone Star apart is that their $48,000, they were able to recoup more funds if necessary if they went out and got grants. Therefore, they could charge whatever the grant allowed, if the 1 or 2% in order to administer the grant, and they would be the ones administering the grant. So to me, it's one of those that they, sort of eat what they kill type deal versus you're guaranteed a flat rate. And the next one closest to it was $122,000, and that was only for advocacy at the federal level, where Lone Star would advocate at the state and the federal level. But they have an opportunity to make more money if they receive, if our entities, the entities receive grants.
Lone Star does?
Lone Star does. So the MOU, we were working on it. I just need permission if it happens between now and the next meeting to sign the MOU once our county attorneys review and prepare. And that was it. I need a motion to.
Make a motion, Judge, move forward.
Commissioner Vasquez, second. Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 11, discussion possible action on MOU between the City of Del Rio and Val Verde County.
Motion approved, Judge.
I will second that.
Motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. Before I take a vote, this is something that on Chapman Road, it does lie within the city limits. There's 2 culverts that Precinct 2 already has in their position that was taken out of Chapman Road, that would be taken out of Lawson Road, that would be installed at Chapman Road. The elevations have already been determined, dependent on the pond that is on the 20 acres between Lawson and Chapman. This would facilitate some of the water to drain out of Lawson Road. County will do the work. and provide the materials for the culvert, the subbase, and then the paving would be done by the city of Del Rio.
By the city.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 12. Oh, come on now. Item 12, and there is this one here. I gave it to y'all. Discussion possible action on policy for purchase of pants and boots, uniforms for elected officials, money to come out of their respective budgets. What we had before in the policy was that they could purchase shirts, five shirts. And if you want to read what was added.
So we've added, good morning, Judge, Commissioners. If the department is going to utilize full uniforms, they shall select the uniform from the 2 vendors that are utilized by the county to include pants, shirts, belts, shoes, and boots. It should be limited to the public safety departments, which consist of sheriff, fire, and constables. Valverde County will pay for 5 polo shirts, not to include jackets, caps, etc. This does not apply to the precinct road crews, building maintenance, sheriff, and fire department.
So what we changed is what was in the red. We have where they could, elected officials and department heads could go in there and purchase 5 shirts.
Yes.
Before without a problem. And I'm gonna move on, if y'all don't mind, also to item 43. It says discussion possible act, well, let's do this. Let's approve, or disapprove. The item 12, what is in red to add that to our dress code. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Vasquez, do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Flores, all in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. We move on to 43 since it's part of it. Discussion possible action on approving the payment of 5 pairs of jeans to be used as uniforms for Constable Precinct 3. The expense to be paid out of Constable 3's police operating budget in the amount of $449.75. We did not have a policy to be able to do this. But our constable understood that he could go out and order uniforms because there was uniforms. So I just want to be perfectly clear that he didn't do anything wrong by going and getting the pants, because we all thought it was part of a uniform, but the policy did not state that. That's how come we just had the other item before this to try to clarify what was done. But our constable didn't do anything wrong. We just have no way to be able to pay for the $449 PO that was actually given, and we received the pants. So option is he can pay for the pants out of his pocket, or he can return the pants. At this point, since we've already adopted a policy, he can go ask for the other 2 vendors, which y'all will give them, purchasing will give them the vendors' names if he wants to order uniforms. But I want to be clear that by him going and doing this, we all thought that it was part of our policy, but it was not. Okay? We good with that? Is that clear enough? Or did I just muddy everything?
No.
Okay. So,
Item 43 then, is there going to be a motion?
on item 43, we, according to the policy that we had and according to the policy that we just adopted, I would entertain a motion that we cannot pay the $449.75. I have a motion on that because the policy does not allow it.
Right. Can we just table this item?
And do nothing. Well, do you want to talk about executive? The reason is if we table it, he needs to have direction on what he's going to do with the pants.
Okay, then no, forget it, we'll just make a motion. I'll make the motion that we do not approve the $449.75 as it would violate the current uniform policy.
I'll second that, Judge.
Okay. I have a motion, Commissioner Garcia, second, Commissioner Vasquez. And again, I can't be clear enough. When the PO was written, we thought the policy allowed it, and that's the only reason that he went out. Okay, but the policy did not allow it. I have a motion, Commissioner Garcia, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 13, discussion possible action on first amended lease between Monza Ltd. Francisco Mondragon, the 60 acres that we have as practice fields next to Walmart. they have exercised their right to notify us that it's for sale, therefore they are wanting to terminate our lease. I think this one would just be for informational purposes, because there's not a whole lot we can do. But the people that practice there are gonna have to go find another place to practice. But we won't have to mow it anymore. So.
Next to Walmart?
Sir?
Next to Walmart?
Next to Walmart. Okay.
No action needed on this?
No action needed, sir.
The effective date of this is today.
Well, he gave us 30 days. The contract says 30 days. The letter was dated March 3rd. So I would assume that the effective date would be April 3rd.
Okay, so we're still.
You have to figure the taxes. Okay. The reason we say figure the taxes, we were paying for the taxes, or the county taxes on that property in order to be able to use the facility or use the property. But the contracts, the lease says 30 days, gives 30-day notification. I would assume it would be April 3rd.
It'll be April 2nd, Judge, 31 days in March.
31, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll work. Thank you. No action needed. Items 14 through 22 have been done. We're gonna go to item 23, discussion possible action to the donation and acceptance of a metal bench and plaque in loving memory.
Motion to approve, Judge, item as presented.
Second. A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. We are working with the city on this because it lies within their 9 foot from their curb to the edge of property line, in order to put the bench on the right of way. But they still have enough room for ADA in front of it. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. No pressure. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 24, discussion possible action.
Motion to approve donation of $50.
I'll second that, Judge.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 25, discussion possible action to review PID 25342, Ms. Sandra Navarro, in requesting P&I waiver. Please see the attached request. Before we, this individual, wrote a check for about $2,300, just off the top of my head, but somewhere around there, $2,300 some odd dollars, check bounced. I don't know how to put that properly. Check bounced. So, check bounced, we notified, she said she never got notified, she did come back in and pay. And when she came back and paid, then there was principal and interest because it was past the time, that there is no penalty and interest. So far, I'm doing pretty good.
Yep.
Okay. My concern is that, there has to be a little bit of a different process. If we get written a hot check, we should send, my opinion, send her a certified letter, which we've already discussed, to let them know that it is a hot check. And then, that way it isn't that you didn't send me something, you did send me something, we have something in writing from the third party that we did. But I have a concern about that, and then also have a concern that, why wasn't this check, because it was a hot check turned into us, why it wasn't taken to my county attorney, to be processed, with every legal means possible. So, my opinion is that, this individual needs to pay her penalty and interest. It's not up to the county to be babysitting whether you wrote me a hot check or not. That's my opinion, but y'all can do whatever y'all
She
want.
just forgot to transfer money from savings. She thought it was automatic. And yeah, I mean, the reason, I guess the
And we
reason.
would have 100 different items,
Yeah.
100 different excuses.
Yes,
And I'm not saying
yes.
that this, I'm just saying she wrote us a hot check,
Right.
which is true.
Mhm.
Once everybody figured out, or she figured out that she wrote us a hot check, she came and paid us.
Mhm.
But it was after the time,
Mhm.
or during that period of time that you have a grace period, you come pay within a certain amount of time, there's no penalty and interest. She paid us after that.
Mhm.
Right? And again, I'm not trying to throw rocks, but
Yeah.
now you're wanting me to, and again, if we send them a certified letter, then we've gone above and beyond.
Right.
But at some point, if I get written a $2,300 check, I'm gonna send them another something, a certified letter. And as a county, I would assume that we have the responsibility to try to collect that money to get it to our county attorney. So,
We do that with DMV, but this was property tax, and we never done it that
It's
way.
still a
We
hot
can
check.
start.
It's a
yes.
hot check.
We can start, but we just void it, and I mean, they get penalty and interest, and whenever they pay it,
yeah, well,
but they pay.
Judge, I'll make a motion that we not pay,
We're not giving a penalty.
not waive the penalty. And then, so Judge, on the motion, could we add part of the motion about sending out the red, about
Certified.
Ms. Lourdes has to send out
Certified and.
certified letters to avoid this future
That would be great.
incident right here.
That's part of your motion? Okay.
All right.
I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Wardlaw, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, ma'am. Item 26, discussion possible action authorized sheriff to approve. Second. Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 27, discussion possible
Make a
action.
motion to approve Judge item number 27.
Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second.
Second.
Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. 28, discussion possible action allowing the purchase of a firearm by honorably retired peace
I will
officer.
make a motion to approve that item, Judge, and what is the amount, Judge, or?
614? No, it's section 6114, the amount is?
Yeah, so the amount is $25. The court approved years ago that would be the cost. And generally, I pay for that. As,
Well, if you're gonna pay for it, maybe we just raise it.
Can we lower it to $1?
Well,
Can we lower it to $1?
we could, but that's not part of the,
Okay.
this, right?
yeah, it's not part of the,
Yeah. I'd rather than to pay it.
I don't mind it.
I'll second it.
I have a motion, Commissioner
Thank you.
Vasquez, second, Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 29, discussion.
Motion approved, Judge.
Motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second?
Judge, and this MOU, this, number 29, what MOU is that, sir?
So Kenny County has, two license plate readers that I complained about for years. One there at, Escondido and one on 2523 and, Loop 79. So basically what this done is an agreement with TxDOT, to basically memorialize that those, license plate readers exist there. And that's all it is. And in that, I made a remark to, the Kenny County Chief Deputy that any other license plate readers that will be installed in Kenny County or in Valverde County will be brought to my attention prior to the installation of those
And
license
that's
plate.
part of the MOU.
Sir?
And that's part of the MOU.
I don't think that's written in the MOU, but that's been relayed via email to Kenny County. But
Stick
that's,
that as part of the
that's,
MOU. I don't understand how they can come stick that in our county. If you put that in there, I mean, I think it would be something to argue about.
And we can't remove them?
So, you know, they serve a great purpose, utilizing them there. Actually, they should have been set, the original site was at, 2523 and 3008, but they couldn't get signal there. Then the other site was at Sycamore Creek and 90. And I went back and forth, and I think I brought it to the court's attention back then also. So, you know, everybody utilizes them in law enforcement. They serve a good purpose. So I agreed to let them there, let them stand, because TxDOT, with all due respect, you know, they don't live up to what they're supposed to do. So, and I've expressed that opinion, to the Laredo district. So, you know, I'm good with them being there. All this does is just memorialize that they're there.
I have a
Sure,
motion, Commissioner
the-
Flores.
Sure, being there by the Rancho Del Rio and Escondido Estates, it gives Kenny County more time to respond when there's an alert, correct?
Correct.
If it's over in Kenny County, we're gonna have less time.
Less time, you know, 5 minutes less, but, you know, at this point, it is what it is, and I can live with it, I think we can live with it. It serves a greater purpose, because, you know, going from border patrol to the police department to the sheriff's office, we all use those systems.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Item Commissioner Vasquez. Sorry about that. Item 30, discussion possible action on approving the lease between Valverde County Special Needs Easter Egg on behalf of Michael Andrade.
Motion approved, Judge.
Application needed. A motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 31, discussion possible action on revision of the
Make a
plat.
motion to approve, Judge, item number 31. That's what, that's a preliminary,
Yes, correct. At this moment, we just need a motion to present it to put it on the county website and send out the notifications to the neighbors.
and all is good with it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's your motion?
Yes, sir.
A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second. Second. Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 32, discussion possible action authorizing county judge to sign a letter to AEP for 471-watt streetlights at our Cristal subdivision with the condition that the developer is responsible for the operating cost unit until the road is accepted as a county maintenance. We've done this in the past. AEP had wanted us to sign something and then that we would be responsible for it. The subdivision's not been completely accepted by the county.
Correct.
And at that point, once we completely accept
Motion
it,
to approve, Judge.
then we'll pay for it.
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, motion. Commissioner Garcia, second. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 33, discussing possible action on approving 4 new extensions.
Motion to approve, Judge, item as presented.
Second. Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, and Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 34, discussion possible action on approving. You sneeze?
No, I just coughed.
You sneeze? Bless you. You cough. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Item 34, discussion possible action approving a month-to-month agreement with Spectrum Business for cable TV service at the Social Security Office.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Second. And motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 35, discussion possible action on approval of upgrades for 10 new light arms on existing street lights from 6 foot to 10 foot at the location shown on the map, and to authorize county judge to sign AEP CIAC agreement. The expense will be funded through Precinct 4 operating budget, total amount of $3,014.84.
Motion approved, Judge.
Motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second?
And these are the, upgrades, am I right? Judge?
These are just upgrades, not new lights, just
I'll
upgrades.
second that.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries.
It shows maps on these items. Is there no maps to?
There should be.
There were maps attached, but I have,
Go to 36 on your.
Go to 36, I can do
I
that.
have copies.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. We'll go to 36. Discussion possible action on approval of upgrades for 9 street lights on existing poles
Thank you.
from 250 watts HPS to 250 watt LED at the location shown on the map, and to authorize county judge, whatever, the expense precinct 4, 1,000. So these are lights that are already there,
Yes.
not new lights, but lights that are already there. We're just going to LED lights versus high pressure sodium
That's
It's an
correct.
upgrade.
on the
It's an
actual
upgrade,
light
the
itself.
actual light.
I'm pretty sure that ties into the extensions
arms,
of the
yes.
arms. Motion.
Motion approved, Judge.
Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Commissioner Flores, where's that, the last light that was voted on? Is it up there yet?
No, it's not.
It's not
No,
there?
it takes a couple of months for them to get it.
Yeah, it's going in between 6 and 7,
And
right?
Finnegan,
Between 6 and 7.
I have no idea.
I thought it was 7.
The light that was voted on, they have not put it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be between 6 and 7, I think, right there where that property line is.
All right. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor for light upgrades on existing lights that are already there? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Item 37, discussion possible action on approval of installation of 1 LED street light and transformer at 2345 Finnegan Road, Finnegan Road, location number 2 on map, and to authorize county judge to sign AEP CIAC agreement. The expense will be approved, Judge. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second? And ask one more time. Do I have a second? Okay. No second, motion fails. All right. Item 38, discussion possible action on approval of installation of 1 LED street light, SEC cable at 2410 Senegas Road across from the Dollar General, location number 3 on map, and to authorize the county judge to sign AEPC.
Motion approved, Judge.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second? One more time. Do I have a second? No second. Motion fails. Item 39, discussion possible action on approval of the installation of one LED street light and transformer at 2727 Senegas Road, location 6. On map and to authorize county.
Judge, I'll make a motion to approve that one. This one is from, that curve past that little store on the Duck Pond Ranch. That area is very dark there, from there to the stop sign.
Okay. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second? One more time. Do I have a second? I do not. Motion fails. All right, item 40, discussion possible action on approval of installation of one LED street light and transformer at 2799 Senegas Road, London.
Motion approved.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
I'd like to say something, Judge, real quick. I don't know if the commissioner saw the letter of support from the school district. And there's several bus stops, and then from the Border Patrol, law enforcement. And then we got one from the industrial park on the importance of lighting up those dark areas, especially curves at night, middle of night. I mean, it's really dark there, unsafe to walk through there or ride your bike or even drive through there. Period.
I have a motion. I've asked for a second twice. No second. Motion fails. Item 41, discussion possible action approval of installation of one LED street light.
Motion approved, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second? No second. Motion fails.
At light 6 is, the number 6, I'd like to say something, Judge, is,
Wait a minute. That on.
well, yeah, those new lights there that I'm trying to get installed, the poles are there. I mean, all I'm asking is put up a light. And, that's where the lady that came up with the citizens' comments, there's got 11 units there. I mean, they're building new homes and those areas are getting populated. You know, it's not like it's in the middle of nowhere.
I am on item 41. I had a motion. I had no second. No second. And on item 41, motion fails. Item 42, discussion possible action on approval.
Motion approved, Judge.
A motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second? No second. Motion fails again. All right. 43 we've done. 44, discussion possible approval to amend the county's purchase approved, Judge. A motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. The legislature had put their dollar amount at 50, went up to 100. We're just sort of aligning our policy with whatever the legislature's already passed.
Yes, to require the performance bonds.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 45, discussion possible action in recognition of March as procurement month. The purchasing department is having a shop day event for all county departments to visit the warehouse.
Motion to approve, Judge, item number 45.
Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Second. Commissioner Flores. And y'all just got back. Y'all were in Florida?
In Florida,
Right?
yes. That's an
A trip
ASPO
that y'all
conference.
won? Well, the county paid for it, but we're
It's
getting
a
reimbursed.
scholarship reimbursement.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the comments, I think that last week when we visited with you, a lot of people, evidently, there's a lot of problems everywhere else, and
Yeah.
we couldn't figure out how smoothly we run,
Right,
right?
that's correct.
So it's pretty impressive. Thank
Yeah,
y'all so
and-
much.
When I go to these conferences, I mean, I hear so many,
Horror stories.
yes, with other counties and cities with not working But with this court, I mean, y'all.
She doesn't tell them what we do. We're in good shape. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 46, discussion possible action.
Judge, item number 46.
Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 47, discussion possible action.
Judge, item number 47.
Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second.
Second.
Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carries. 48. Seems like we never get this far. Approving bills for payment.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
Everything good this year?
Yeah, everything's good.
Second. Motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5. Item 49, discuss possible act to approve auditors.
Motion approved, Judge.
Second. Have a second.
Second.
Commissioner Flores. Any questions? Any concerns? Always have concerns. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. What do we have?
Well, on 50, all we have is item 24 and 28, and then we're just going to follow standard operating procedures, but those just go back into their either operating or books account.
You want us to make a motion on that?
I believe you already
I
made
did.
a big enough motion back and forth.
Okay. We're good then.
And then 50.
No action.
I'll let you do 50.
No action needed on number 50. 51, discussion possible action on the following budget adjustments.
That would just be the addendum item that was done in the beginning.
Okay, so we're good.
We're good.
All right. Item 52, discussion possible action on grant requests from the Texas. Yeah, or not that one. Society. You knew that I was gonna mess it up, right? In the amount of $5,000 support. They're wanting, to come out of hot tax funds. We've done this probably while I've been, an elected official. Maybe this will be the third or fourth time. They have a bunch of people that come in. We would be surprised on how many, they are a nonprofit. Put that out there.
Do you have any data on how many people?
I will tell you that, the people that are gonna come in, what I was given, on the low end, probably about 45. On the high end could be probably 80.
I'll make a motion to approve, Judge, item number 52.
Thank you.
You're part of the burden group, am I right?
I'm not involved in this.
Oh, no, but you're part of that, yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Sure. So it says that grant funds will be used to help defray operational costs, van rentals for transportation, access fees for private ranches, and lodging support. Are those, can we use hot tax money for that? And are they gonna fill out an application and do?
They will fill out an application. And then, they will, I can tell you what's happening right now. The people that are not 501c3s fill out an application, and then they bring us back in order to get their money, canceled checks or receipts from whoever they wrote checks to.
But are these expenditures allowed under our hot tax policy? The access fees for private ranches, lodging support, and van rentals?
Well, as we know, Section 352 is pretty vast. And Val Verde County is extremely special in 352, where it defines tourism. So would this promote tourism? Well,
Answer to your question is yes.
Okay, there we go.
Well, I was just wanting to make sure we didn't approve it.
Yeah, no.
And then these fees aren't allowed.
No, answer to your question is yes. Okay. And, since they are a nonprofit, they'll have to fill out an application, and then they'll have to tell us where they're gonna spend.
Right. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't say, yes, we'll give you the money, and then later on they said, oh, we're not gonna allow access fees.
No.
Okay.
But if all of those fees are allowed, then.
Yeah, we will see it as the invoice comes in. We will see it, and that'll be actually the final review right there. But right now, this is just giving us the authority to go ahead and present, because it still has to be presented to you for a final signature to issue the check. And this is just the initial stages.
Now, once they do the application and do everything else.
Correct.
Yes.
Then we'll bring the claim to the court.
Yeah, under bills to be paid.
Correct.
Well, I just
And
didn't
if
want
there's
to
any
approve
hiccups
it
at that-
and then later on not.
Right. So if there was something in the application that would create a hiccup, it would of course be brought to the court on that day for it to be approved. So,
Okay, I'll second.
okay.
Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 53, closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code A 551.071, secure attorney-client privilege, B 551.071, parentheses A, contemplated litigation, C 551.072 regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or line, D 551.073 regarding a negotiated contract lease for value real property and possible action in open session thereafter. E 551.076 regarding security devices, security audits, and security personnel. And if y'all will give us room, we're going to go into executive session. And with that, Louis, I'm going to go in and leave. All right, lights on. Here we go. We didn't table anything. We actually took care of everything. Not good or indifferent, but we took care of it. We're going to move on to item 54, Commissioners' comments.
Just, Judge, inviting everybody for, next, week, our Easter, egg event, Easter egg hunt at the Tony Foss 315 East Chapoy. It is gonna be, March the 2nd?
April.
Oh, April 3rd, I'm sorry. It's gonna be from 3:30 in the afternoon till 5 PM. Inviting everybody out there.
They're going to have Easter eggs?
A lot of Easter eggs.
Okay.
Yeah, Easter eggs, huh, Judge? We got about 1,500 eggs for all the kids to enjoy. We're gonna have, orange juice and, snacks at no cost to the county, but we'll be
That's awesome.
providing that, Judge.
Okay.
Inviting everybody.
Any other comments?
Yes, sir. I was just gonna say, reiterate that us intervening with the transmission line is not, that we're intervening on behalf of particular landowners. It's for Valverde County, because the transmission line is spending an unusually, more amount of miles in Valverde County than neighboring counties.
And I appreciate that, Commissioner. I really do. Thank you. Any other comments? We good? We're gonna go fix the drainage and everything. But he's not here, but get with him and bring that back.
Oh, Carlos? Okay.
County judges, comments, none. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'll entertain item 56, a motion to adjourn. A motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Second, Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. This meeting's adjourned. Thank y'all.